move to the introductions. Capital structure is a critical aspect of corporate finance involving the mix of debt and equity used by company to fund operations and growth. The choices made in structuring capital significantly impact a firm's risk profile, cost of capital, and financial stabilities. To achieve an optimal balance, companies rely on various theoretical frameworks such as trade-off theory and the Modigliani-Miller's propositions, alongside practical tools like cost of capital calculations and scenario analysis. Several internal factors such as profitability, asset structures, and growth opportunity, alongside external factors like market conditions, interest rates, and tax policy, shapes these capital structure decisions. Additionally, managing the risk of financial distress, which arises when a company struggles to meet its financial obligations, is crucial. Company must also balance the tax benefits of debt against potential financial distress costs and address agency costs due to conflict between management and shareholder. The pecking order theory and the signaling hypothesis offer further insight into financing behavior, suggesting a hierarchy of funding preference and how financial decisions sign a company prospect to the market. These comprehensive discussions will explore these dimensions, providing a deeper understanding of capital structures and its strategic implications for business aiming to enhance financial stabilities and maximize value. And now we move to the capital structure. What is capital structure? What is capital structure? Capital structure is referred to the compositions of a company financing through different sources, primarily including debt such as loan and bond, thus for equity such as common and preferred stock. It determines how a company funds its overall operations and growth, influencing its risk profile, cost of capital, and financial ability. A company's capital structure is a critical aspect of its financial strategy as it affects its ability to maximize shareholders' value while maintaining financial stability. Debt and equity. Debt financing involves borrowing funds that need to be repaid over time with interest, for example, including bank loans, corporate bonds, and other forms of debt instruments. Debt is advantageous because interest payments are tax deductible, reducing the company taxable income. However, excessive debt increases financial risk as the company must meet its debt obligations regardless of its financial performance. However, as for the equity financing, it involves raising capital by selling ownership shares in the company. This can be done through issuing common and preferred stocks. Equity does not need to be repaid and does not impose mandatory interest payment, which reduces financial risk. However, issuing new equity dilutes existing shareholders' ownerships and can be more expensive than debt due to the higher cost of equity. A balanced capital structure typically involves a mix of debt and equity tailored to the company's specific needs, industry norms, and market conditions. This mix can help optimize the company cost of capital and ensure sufficient flexibility to pursue growth opportunities. Determining optimal capital structure. Determining the optimal capital structures involve finding the right balance between debt and equity that minimize the company's overall cost of capital and maximize its market value. This process considers various theoretical and practice approaches. In the theoretical approaches, they have three, which is trade-off theory, Modigliani-Miller's positions without taxes, and Modigliani-Miller's positions with taxes. As for trade-off theory, this theory suggests that company balance of tax benefits of debt due to the interest tax shields against the cost of potential financial distress. The optimal capital structure is reached when the marginal benefits of the tax shields equal the marginal cost of financial distress. After that, Modigliani-Miller's positions without taxes. According to this theory, in the world without taxes, bankruptcy costs and the asymmetric informations, the value of a company is unaffected by its capital structures. This implies that the company market value is determined by its operations income and the risk of its asset, not by how it is financed. However, as for the Mongoliani-Miller's positions with taxes, when considering taxes, a theory suggests that the value of leveraged firms is higher than unleveraged firms due to the tax deductibility of interest payment, which is create a tax shields. Now, as for the practical approaches, they have four approaches, which is comparative analysis, cost of capital calculation, scenario analysis, and management risk tolerance. As for comparative analysis, companies often analyze the capital structures of peer company within their industry to understand industry norms and the investor expectations. These benchmarks help in aligning their capital structures with the market standard. Next is cost of capital calculation. The weighted average cost of capital (WACC) is calculated by weighing the cost of each capital components, which is debt and equity, according to its proportions in the overall capital structure. The goal is to minimize the WACC to enhance firm value. Next is scenario analysis. Companies use financial modeling and scenario analysis to evaluate the impacts of different capital structures under various economic conditions. This helps in understanding the potential risks and benefit associated with each capital structure scenario. And lastly, for the management risk tolerance, the company's management must consider the risk tolerance and strategic goal. A more comprehensive management teams may refer less debt to avoid financial distress, while a more aggressive team may leverage debt to fuel growth. After that, the factors affecting capital structures and capital structure decision. Several internal and external factors influence capital structure decisions. Understanding this factor helps company tailors their capital structures to align with their strategic objective and market conditions. As for the internal factor, the first one that affect it, which is profitability. More profitable companies generate higher internal cash flow, reducing the need for external financing. Profitability firms can afford to rely more on retained earnings and less on debt. After that is asset structure. Company with substantial tangible asset can secure more debt, and this asset can serve as a collateral. Firm with intangible assets or high research and development costs may find it more challenging to raise debt. Growth opportunities also one of the internal factors, whereby with this growth opportunity, higher growth firms often require significant capital to finance their expansions. This company might prefer equity financing to avoid the risk of financial distress associated with high debt level. Next is company size. Larger companies typically have better access to the capital market and can secure financing at more favorable terms. Smaller firms may face higher costs and more stringent borrowing conditions. Last internal factor is earning volatilities. Companies with stable earnings are better positions to handle debt obligations. Firms with volatile earnings might prefer equity to avoid the risk of financial distress. And now move to the external factors. The first external factor is market conditions. Economic stability and favorable market conditions influence investor confidence and the ability of finance. During the economy turns down, company might face higher borrowing costs and reduced access to the capital. Interest rate also one of the external factor, where the higher interest rate increase the cost of borrowing, making debt financing less attractive. Conversely, low interest rate can incentivize companies to use more debt. And then is tax policies. Tax benefits such as interest deductibilities make debt financing more attractive. Changes in tax policy can significantly impact economic structure decisions. And move to the industry norms. Industry norms also one of the external factor, where industry specific factors such as regulatory requirements and competitive dynamics also play a role, whereby the companies often align the capital structures with industry standards to remain in the competitions. Lastly is access to the capital market. Companies with better access to the capital market can choose from wider range of financing options. This access is influenced by factors like credit ratings, investor relations, and overall market conditions. Now move to the financial distress. Financial distress occurs when a company is unable to meet its financial obligations, leading to potential bankruptcy or restructuring. Understanding financial distress is crucial for managing and mitigating risks associated with capital structure decisions. What are the causes of financial distress? The first is high leverage. Excessive use of debt increases the likelihoods of financial distress, especially if the company cash flow are insufficient to cover interest and principal payment. Poor management decision also one of the financial distress causes. And then because of the poor management decisions, it make the strategic missteps such as over expansions or poor investment choices can strain a company financial resources. Next is declining industry condition. Structural changes in industry such as technology disruptions or regulatory changes can impact a company financial stability. What is the consequences of financial distress? The first one is bankruptcy. If a company is unable to resolve its financial distress, it may file for a bankruptcy, leading to asset liquidations or reorganizations. Second one is loss of market confidence. Financial distress orders investor confidence, leading to declining stocks price and difficulty in raising capital. After that is operational disruptions. Financial distress can result in reduced operational efficiency as the company might need to cut costs, delay investment or sell their asset. The last one is higher borrowing costs. Companies in financial distress face higher borrowing costs and more stringent lending conditions, further exacerbating their financial challenges. How the company can managing their financial distress? The first one is proactive financial management, where the company should regularly monitor their financial health and maintaining sufficient liquidity to weather economic downturns. And then debt restructuring. Negotiate with creditor to restructure debt terms can provide temporary reliefs and improve financial stability. And then asset sales. Selling non-core assets can raise funds to pay down debt and improve the company financial positions. The last one is cost reductions. Implementing cost-cutting measures such as reduced operational expenses or workforce adjustment can help manage the financial. Integrations of tax effects and financial cost of distress. Integration's tax effect and the financial cost of distress is essential for making informed capital structure decisions. Balancing this factor helps companies optimize their capital structures to enhance value while managing the risk. As for the tax effects, there is tax interest shield where interest payment of debt are tax deductible, reducing the company's taxable income and provide a tax shield. These tax benefits debt financing attractive as it lowers the effective of cost of borrowing. Optimal level of debt. The tax shield benefit increase with a higher debt level. However, beyond a certain point, the marginal tax benefit decreases and the risk of financial distress is increases. Company must find an optimal debt level that maximizes tax shields without significantly rising financial distress. Financial cost of distress. Bankruptcy costs. Financial distress can lead to the direct bankruptcy costs, such as legal fees and administrative expenses, and indirect costs, such as loss of customer and supplier confidence. Next is agency costs. Financial distress can increase agency costs as manager might engage in riskier behavior to avoid bankruptcy, potentially harming shareholder. After that is loss of flexibility. Higher debt level reduce financial flexibility, limiting the company abilities to invest in growth opportunities or respond in the market changes. How to balance tax benefit and financial distress cost? The first one is cost benefit analysis. Company must weigh the tax benefits of debt against the potential costs of financial distress. This involves assessing the impact of different capital structures on the company's overall value and risk profile. Next is scenario analysis. Financial modeling and scenario analysis can help company evaluate the trade-off between tax benefit and financial distress caused under various economic conditions. Lastly is risk management, whereby implementing risk management strategies such as maintaining sufficient liquidity and diversifying funding sources Loss of flexibility. Higher debt level reduce financial flexibility, limiting the company ability to invest in growth opportunities or respond to the market changes. How to balancing the tax benefits and financial distress costs. The first one is cost benefit analysis, where the company should weigh the tax benefits of debts against the potential causes of financial distress. This involves assessing the impact of different capital structures on the company's overall value and the risk profile. The next is scenario analysis, where the financing modeling and scenario analysis can help company evaluate the trade-off between tax benefit and financial distress costs under various economic conditions. Lastly is risk management. Implementing risk management strategies such as maintaining sufficient liquidity and diversifying funding sources can help mitigate the risk of financial distress while optimizing the capital structure. Agency cost of equity. Agency costs arise from conflict of interest between management and shareholder. These costs can impact capital structure decisions, as managers and shareholders may have different incentive and risk tolerance. Costs have three, which is managerial incentive, risk aversions, information asymmetry. As for the managerial incentive, managers may prioritize personal goals such as job securities and perks over maximizations in shareholder values. This can lead to the suboptimal investment decisions and efficient use of resources. And then as for the risk aversions, managers may be more risk averse than shareholders, as their personal wealth and job securities are tied up to the company performance. This can result in conservative financing choices, such as avoiding a debt to reduce financial risk. The last one is information asymmetric. Managers can have more information about the company operations and prospect than shareholders, leading to the potential misalignment of interests. The impact on the capital structure, the first one is impact to the equity and debt financing, whereby to align managerial interests with those of shareholder company may use equity based off compensations such as stock options to incentives manager to focus on increasing shareholder value. However, this can lead dilutions of ownerships and higher agency cost of equity. As for the monitoring mechanisms, company can implementing monitor mechanisms such as board oversight, performance-based incentive, and transparent reporting to reduce agency costs. This mechanism can help to ensure that managerial decisions align with the shareholder interests. The impact of debt as a disciplinary tools to the capital structure, where debt financing can serve as a disciplinary tool as it imposes fixed obligations on the company. The need to make regular interest payments can discourage managers from pursuing wasteful projects and encourage more efficient use of resources. Breaking order theory. The breaking order theory suggests that companies prioritize their sources of financing based on the principle of least resistance. This hierarchy is influenced by the cost of financing and the risk of information asymmetry. Hierarchy of financial preference, which is the first one, internal fund. Companies prefer to use retained earnings and internal cash flow first, as these funds do not incur additional costs or risk. Using internal fund avoid the need to issue new securities and minimize information asymmetry. Next is debt financing. If internal funds are insufficient, companies prefer to raise capital through debt financing. Debt is cheaper than equity and does not dilute existing shareholders' ownerships. However, excessive debt increases financial risk and potential distress causes. The last one is equity financing, which is issuing new equity is the last resort due to the higher cost and dilution effect. Equity financing is used when internal fund and the debt are insufficient or when the company wants to maintain financial flexibility and avoid excessive leverage. What are the implications of pecking order theory? They have three implications, which is the first one, financing decisions. The pecking order theory explains why profitable companies with high internal cash flow tend to have lower debt levels, while less profitable companies rely on more external financing. And then the second one is capital structure dynamic. The theory suggests that the capital structure involved based on the company financing needs and internal cash flow availability. Companies do not target a specific debt to equity ratio but adjust their capital structures based on financing requirement and market condition. The last one is information asymmetry. The theory highlights the role of information asymmetry in financial decisions. Managers have better information about the company prospect than external investor, leading to the preference for external fund. Managers have information about the company prospect than external investor, leading to preference for internal funds and debt over equity to minimize information asymmetry costs. In conclusion, capital structure is a dynamic aspect of corporate finance that requires careful considerations of various factors, theories, and strategic imperatives. By balancing debts and equity, managing financial risk, and aligning incentives, company can create an optimal capital structures that support growth, resilience, and long-term value creations. This strategic approach to capital structures not only enhance financial performance but also foster investor confidence and organizational stabilities in ever-changing business landscape. Thank you.